Divine greetings and gratitude, tribe. Welcome home. I'm glad that you are back. I know it's been a while since we last shuffled and since we last spoken to each other and since I last uploaded. The reason why I've been slowing down a lot on posting on YouTube is because I really have been in the garden, getting things ready, getting things prepared, and expanding our garden so that we can become fully sustained. Yep, that's essentially the reason why. It's been a lot going on. We got the greenhouse set up finally. We got so many things for ourselves going, and I'm really excited about that. And yes, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Nuna. I am here to help you transcend beyond pain and suffering, manifest and expand your consciousness by merging the arts of poetry and magic. You can find me on Substack, Instagram, Threads, of course, and anywhere there is social media. Make sure that you check the link in my bio. Whoops, wait, what is this? Whoops, this is YouTube. Sorry. Make sure that you check the links down in the description box as well as in the comment section, because that's where all the love is. That's where all the information is. Make sure that you also tune into messages that we have behind the scenes by becoming a member of our private Saiyonan circle. That is where I do give you guided messages, share things with you that I don't share on the internet, and cater my time and attention to you behind the scenes in a way that I will not do so in public. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the reading. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I was told to, one, stick with Oracle, two, that the message was brace yourself. I do not know what is going on. I do not know the reason why, but the feeling that I get when I heard, or the feeling that I got when I heard brace yourself, it was almost kind of like confusion. And then I asked, well, this is like a bad thing. Is this, what is this? And it wasn't revealed to me. So I'm going to see exactly what is being revealed in the cards. I'm guessing that it's really none of my business. I'm just here to give you the message, and I'm here for that vibe. It's fine. I know that spirit does do that sometimes. And the reason why I do feel that way is because, or the reason why I feel that spirit does that at times is because there's so many things that go on in our lives, and not everybody is meant to know about those things. So if you're coming to me to get a reading, or if you're coming to me on this channel, then of course there are lots of times where I will tell you exactly what it is. Other times I'm like, well, you know what? This is not my business. This is not the business of the internet. You're going to have to go to your altar, speak to your guides and your ancestors to see what is it that they meant when this came through the reading. So it could be one of those things, or it could be just that we're meant to find out in the cards. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm also going to be casting some corn kernels here. That's what they let me to do. At least that's what my ancestors and my guides led me to do. I heard go get the corn kernels, and I was like, okay. So I sent my fiance out to go look for the for the corn kernels, and he came back with some. So we're gonna be tossing some of those in a second, or in a few moments. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and do me a favor and get yourself nice, warm, and in a very comfortable position. I want you to ground yourself. Take a few moments to breathe. Take a few moments to center. Take a few moments to just simply ground yourself. At this time, I want you to center and to ground. And after you center and ground, I want you to grab something that you want to drink or to eat, if you will. Just anything that makes you feel grounded, anything that makes you feel safe and comfortable. I would like for you to do that. Anything that makes you feel like you are here present on earth. It could be an oil from the Ethereum that you may have reserved, or it could be something that you may have created on your own time. Either way it goes, I would like for you to remain present here. I don't know why, but I'm seeing flowers. Of course, I would see flowers because I do have flowers here on the altar, but these are not the flowers that I'm seeing. These flowers are actually from my front yard, and I have yet to find out what they are. But once I do, I'm going to be using these in some oils after drying the petals, and I'm also going to be using them in candles more than likely because I love flowers. It just pleases my Taurus rising. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Yes, I'm seeing flowers, and the flowers that I'm seeing were very pink, and it's this beautiful, lush, pink, beautiful garden of flowers. It's just nothing but flowers. And it's interesting because I'm seeing yellow flowers now, and I'm seeing the flowers of squash. So this could be something that is very grounding and something that you do immediately, or you wait a little while and then you allow yourself to retrieve the nourishment from said flowers or from said squash throughout the season. So there's something about squash and like the way that it grows. I don't know if you ever planted squash or if you ever grown squash, but the yellow squash, the straight neck yellow squash, it's on the leaves or like on the stems, there's these little pricklies, and if you're not careful it can kind of prick you a little bit. I don't know why, but I'm being immediately drawn to those flowers, even though, or not flowers, but I'm being drawn to those little tiny, whatever those are, little needles. There's something about you, how you're just so beautiful and you're just so full of nourishment and you're so grounding and you're just so amazing. But there's this part of you that is very, very much prickly. And it's something about how people have either handled you or how people have perceived you or how people have shown up in your life, where even though you have this beauty, even though you're very grounded, a part of you is very prickly when people come too close. And I feel like it's these protective measures, and it's also bringing me to flowers and thorns. It's bringing me to roses and thorns. It's like you could be someone who's very beautiful, very luxurious, right? And I'm someone that believes that we're all beautiful in our own ways, but for some reason what I'm being brought to is that someone here is, I'm heard that it's something about someone being used for their aesthetics, or someone being used for what they look like, or someone being a trophy, or someone just being diminished for just solely superficial reasons. And because of that, they grew these thorns to protect themselves and to protect their beauty, to protect their magnetism, and to protect their innocence. And what I'm hearing is that there's something about you that is just so amazing. And obviously we're in channel mode right now. I haven't even looked at cards, but either way it goes, it's one of those things where you're someone that is just so amazing. And for some of you, you may not even believe that you are someone that is beautiful. You may not believe that you're someone who you don't see your own beauty. And for whatever reason, I'm getting this feeling, and I'm seeing the world, and I'm seeing the Empress card. So even though Divine said don't pull any cards, stick to this, I'm going to just channel the message of the Empress. And the message here of the Empress is that you are someone that is so luxuriously beautiful and nourished. You don't have to be prickly with yourself or other people. In fact, Spirit is asking for you to brace yourself, because there's so much more beauty and abundance that is wanting to enter into your life. But the only way for you to receive said abundance, you have to be willing to ground yourself. And with grounding yourself, there is no worry about the future, and there is no reflection, or there is no constant reminiscing of the past to such a way that it brings you away from the present moment. And there's something about you allowing yourself to be rooted deeply into this nourishing soil, deeply rooted into the nourishing waters within yourself, within the divine. And there's this wisdom that you have that is embedded within you that Spirit is asking for you to allow out. And it's interesting because they're specifically stating that once you start to embrace this beautiful aspect of yourself, once you do start embracing this more beautiful, this more luxurious, this more soft, this more nurturing, this other aspect of you, that's when things start to open up and become a lot more flamboyant and a lot more buoyant, a lot more magnitudinous, right? So there's something about how you yourself are someone that is full of so much beauty, and your beauty is not just in how you look. Your beauty is in how you carry yourself, how you respond to the world, how you view yourself, right? It's in the way that you view the world. And it's interesting because even though we haven't pulled cards over, it really does feel like either someone has been working glamour magic, or either someone has been working with roses or dragon's blood, or they've been doing, maybe passion flowers. It's something about how you've been working glamour and how you've been doing things in your life to enhance your beauty. But Spirit is saying is that you don't need to keep doing that, because you're already beautiful as you are. And there's something about how when you brace yourself because there is something that's coming into your life that's going to help to magnify or amplify that, or even reveal that. There's something big. I really feel like there's something big. Okay, let me go ahead and pull your cards over and see what's going on. Okay, you have self-expression, flow. Okay, so we're getting into the flow here. Self-expression and flow. Okay. Spanish moss. Okay, and then you also have, let's see, what is this? You have butterbeans, counting and time cycles. All right. You have lemon balm. Wow. Okay. Balance, lemon balm. Beautiful. I feel like we have lemon balm growing in our front yard. I can't remember. And then you also do have Angel's Trumpet, Suspicion, Turmoil. Exactly. And this suspicion here is exactly, and it's so funny because some of the flowers that I saw actually were growing on the squash plant, and they kind of look like that in a way, except if you can imagine the squash like kind of facing towards you as they do when you're growing it. Oh my god, they're so beautiful. They're some of the most beautiful flowers apart from peonies. Apart from peonies, but either way it goes with these cards, immediately what it's drawing me to is that there is a sense of obviously balance that is needed. But in order for you to find balance, Spirit is asking for you to ground yourself. And I feel like there's someone here that really does tend to get into this space where they feel like the worst is to come, and it's always the worst. Like even when I said brace yourself, I just feel that someone's nervous system was like, oh Lord, here we go. And it's not one of those things where you want to keep expecting the worst. You don't want to do that. Why? Because I feel like when you start to really think these things, you act it, you start to truly program reality to respond that way. And I want you to remember that reality is programmable as long as you are at the vibration. When you are at a specific vibration, that is you programming the universe. This universe can be programmed. That's why there's people out here who are doing dirty work and they're not being given any consequences. And either way it goes, I mean, energy is going to even itself out. It's going to come to a balance, right? I mean, highs and lows, right? The Will card, the Wheel of Fortune. And it's one of those things where when you start to embrace this, again, this beautiful aspect, when you start to really embrace the wisdom within yourself, you start to bring things to a balance. And that really is truly what I'm feeling here. And remember, this here, butterbeans are so good. Counting time cycles. It's interesting because it really is bringing me to something that it's a plenty, and you keep growing it and you keep growing it and you keep growing it. And then you the more that you have, right? And I feel like there's with these butterbeans is something that is so nourishing, carbs, protein, right? All these different types of minerals and vitamins and healthy things within this space, within the little beans. And I feel like the reason why these are coming up for you, honestly, is because they're also, what I'm hearing is a soothing. I'm hearing something about a soothing, and I'm hearing something about like an ointment that you put on the skin. There's something about, I don't know if you have eczema, but you may want to use neem oil, because you can use neem oil to help your eczema if you have it. But either way it goes, though, I do feel like there's something very soothing. It's like when you have an itch and you just can't stop itching, and you start to really soothe. You start to really do what you have to do to really, really soothe it and to give it moisture, but also to make sure, if you heard anything in the background, that was one of the alarms. But either way it goes, what am I saying? What I'm saying here is that you are someone that has so much abundance. You are someone that has so much wisdom. It's something about your wisdom here that I keep picking up on, and I can't escape it. I don't know why it keeps coming out that way. Okay. But either way it goes, Spirit is asking for you to start to really express more of this version of yourself. And the reason why is because when you do that, you tell reality, or you tell your universe that this is what you want to experience. A lot of the abundance that you're wanting to draw in for yourself, this magnitudinous abundance, this benevolent abundance, you're going to have to start speaking up, and you're going to have to start sharing yourself. They want you to come out of the shell. You see how these beings here, how they're in the shell, but they're open, right? They don't want you to be so closed off and closed in. They're actually wanting you to come out and express yourself, because each of these butterbeans is a representation of the wisdom that you have within you. But see, when it's closed, we can't see it, right? But when it's open, you see all of these different things, and it's counting, which means it's going to be plentiful. All you need is one bean, and you plant that bean and it grows a whole vine for generations. You are the being that has generations of wisdom and information that you can use to implement into your life, and Spirit is asking for you to share that. You don't have to be prickly, and you don't have to just shoo everyone away out of fear that they're going to hurt you. And I get it, because what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling truly is that you're someone that had a really hard life, but they're asking for you to open yourself up, right? You don't have to worry about the turmoil. And even when you feel suspicious that things won't go right, or even when you feel suspicious, or even if it doesn't go right, at the end of the day, allow these moments to pass and don't feed so much into that. Okay. Try not to feed so much into it. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Owl Spirit. This is the reason why I couldn't. I couldn't get away from wisdom. Exactly. And no, I did not see these cards. You have the owl here, owl spirit. You see clearly now. There's something where you're starting to become, I just heard the word clairvoyant. You're starting to become a lot more clairvoyant, right? Like your clairs could be open and you're someone who's able to see beyond. Like you're seeing in the beyond now. You're seeing beyond the veil. And I'm also seeing be fearless and bold. Exactly. And you also have lion spirit. Be generous of spirit. I love this for you. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And you also have the badger spirit here. I don't know if you've ever seen that video, Honey Badger Don't Give a Shit. That's exactly what that card reminds me of. And it's one of those things where you stop asking permission and you just start being bold and beautiful. Wear the dress, right? Wear the dress, wear the skirt, right? Wear whatever it is you want to wear. If you're a man friend here, maybe you want to go outside with your shirt shirt unbuttoned. Who knows? I don't know. Like, do what you want to do. Just express yourself. And maybe it's not just I just heard it's in your art. For some of you, it is in your art. Get the message out via your art. It could be your poetry. It could be your paintings. It could be your writing. It could be whatever it may be. Right? It could be your crafting, your knitting, right? Ice skating. I always say ice skating. I don't know why. Maybe in a past life I was an ice skater. Who knows? But anyway, so basically, yes, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like once you do start to open yourself up and once you do start to share that wisdom, you start to see things a lot more clearly. This might have been all in my head. Or if it wasn't all in my head, it was because of something that I went through in the past. Your past does not have to dictate your story right now. Your past was a lesson and let it be that. Okay. All right. And then last but not least here, I cannot do this right now. Okay. Listen, you have Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. Exactly. Feel loved and comforted. Perfect. This is so perfect. The Empress. This is why I didn't need to pull the cards because look, you have the Empress here. Earth Mother, Venus, Venusian, Taurus, right? This is Taurus energy. Feel loved and comforted. And that butterfly, so beautiful. So beautiful. I love that. But I feel like with this, and look at that. You see that? The goddess. Embrace yourself, right? You may be very curvy. This is bringing me to someone who has like body positivity or I just heard body dysmorphia, or someone that has a really hard time when it comes to embracing their body or their image because of how society doesn't like bigger women or they don't like bigger bodies and whatnot. And I feel like there's something about spirit saying, embrace your curves, embrace you. I don't care what your gender is here. Embrace your body. Your body could be a bit bigger, but remember your body carried you this far. Imagine that, right? Like your body carried you this far and it's still carrying you. So the sheer act of existence here, the sheer act of being a part of existence, that in itself is magic. And you don't have to hide that magic. They're asking for you to come out, to share your beauty. You need to be seen. They're wanting you to be seen. They're wanting you to see things a lot more clearly. And you have Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. I love this for you. And the reason why I do is because with this ignite your passions here, I feel like it's a play on you expressing the things that you love, you doing what you love, no matter who's watching. Brace yourself, because when you brace yourself, you start to see reality shift right before your eyes. And there's something so amazing and so beautiful that you carry within yourself. And I want you to remember how beautiful you are. I want you to remember that you are so loved and you are so beautiful and you are so comforted and you are being given the biggest bear hugs, the biggest mama bear hugs. And I don't care what your age is, right? You could be 80 years old listening to this. Go out there and show yourself. Go out there and share your wisdom with the world if you feel called to, because there's so much beauty within you, right? There's so much beauty within you. And again, the beauty is not just in physical attributes. It's in the wisdom that you carry. Okay, it is in the wisdom that you carry. I almost forgot to toss the kernels. I almost forgot. Okay, so here we go. We're going to toss the kernels here. Okay, let's see here. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a whale. I'm seeing like a whale's tail. That's so interesting. I'm seeing like a whale's tail. And I'm also seeing, I just heard the word broken heart. I'm also seeing, okay, this is bringing me to sexual energy here. I'm also seeing I'm seeing a cross. So this has a lot to do with deep mystery here. I'm feeling this vibe of very deep mystery. I just heard the word kaleidoscope or kaleidoscope. I just heard pairs of 3. Spirit, guide me through this, and what do you want them to know from these corn kernels? Let me zoom in for a little bit, just real quick. I just heard don't guard yourself. I feel like with this line here, there's a line here and it's curving upward. This is bringing me to some kind of river. I don't know why. Whoever is here in this field, there's something always very significant about rivers with you, and I don't know why. But either way it goes, this looks like a river, or it looks like a trail. This definitely here is a trail. And I'm also hearing something about footprints. So these could be a trail or footprints that I'm seeing here. And there's something about lines, like wavy lines. What I'm feeling with this, honestly, is that, wow, how amazing is that? Actually, look at that. I don't know if you can see this, but look at this. You see that line there? And then there's like another one going along here. And then there's a dot right there. That is bringing me to the goddess energy that is right here. That's right here. That's the energy that I'm seeing yet again. And it's coming out in your corn kernels. Can you imagine that? That's exactly what that reminds me of, if you can see that. So either way it goes, this is one of those things where when I mention the river, it feels like divine feminine leadership here. That definitely is what that is. You are one of the people that when you step out, you do help the divine feminine if you are a man, or if you yourself are a woman, you are here to be one of the divine feminine leaders. But in order for you to do that, you're going to have to start expressing yourself and embracing yourself and owning yourself and owning your body, loving your curves, embracing your curves. They're saying to you to spend time near water to see how it reacts or to see how it flows. Go to the beach to see how the beach flows. There's something about the beach that you relate to, not just because of the beach itself, but because of the way the water moves. And there's something about the tides, and there's something about the waves in the water. And I'm also being brought to mermaid energy. So I don't know if you're a Cancer, or if you have Cancer like traits or qualities, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cancer, Venus, right? Whatever it may be. But either way it goes, it could be that, it could be Pisces. I'm not picking up on scorpionic energy here, because it doesn't bring me to like really deep waters. It brings me to like the top of the water, like at the very top where you can see the waves, or like right beneath the surface. Like that's what it gives me. And then I also feel like your spirit animal could be a whale right now, or your animal guide may be a whale. For some of you, it's a shark, and I just heard like a shark fin or like a shark's tooth. That's also could be what it is too. So there's something about aquatic life that could be guiding you right now. You could be dreaming of being in a pool, being in water. You could be dreaming of whales. You could be dreaming of orcas, right? These are all matriarchal animals, the whale and the orca. Like those are matriarchal animals. You can learn a lot from them. Okay. But either way it goes, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for listening. And to be honest, that's going to do it for me. I feel like that's the reading. I feel like this is really one of those just comforting messages that you may have needed to hear. Also, if I were you, I would work with the fertility oil that is in the Ethereum. But either way it goes, yes, I would definitely be working with that. So this oil, the fertility oil, and whatever else you would need, I'll let you know down in the comment section. And yes, that's going to do it. So I hope that you got what you needed out of this video. Thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I'm going to be giving you a lot more messages. Thank you for tuning in. I would love for you to become a private member. I would love for you to join the Saiyonan Coven. I'll make sure to give you links down below. If you don't want to become a part of the Coven, no worries. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be giving you a lot more messages. Make sure that you are following me on or subscribe to me on Substack. And the reason why is because that is where you're going to find some writing pieces, written reflections. You're going to find prophecies. You're going to find poetry. You're going to find different forms of art and things of that nature. So make sure that you follow me there. That is a space where I do express myself as a writer, and writing is a very major part of this experience. Okay. If you're not following that space, or if you're not subscribed there, you're going to be missing out on a major chunk of our work here, right? Because we merge the arts of poetry and magic and writing. Make sure that you are there. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next video.